Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into a very hot topic, literally, because we're going to be talking about how men view sex and what you need to know. Now, I have personally interviewed over 100 men of all ages on this topic, and I have been on more than 100 dates with high-achieving men. So believe me when I say that this is a topic that you really need to understand, not just when dating, but to keep your soulmate once you have found him. This isn't just a kind of nice to have thing, right? It's a need to know. It's a lifetime thing. This is part one of a part two video series that I've created, so stay tuned for part two that I will release shortly. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Kimberly Anderson. I'm an international dating and relationship expert, and I help single professional women over 35 go from feeling stuck and frustrated to reconnect with their feminine essence and to find their soulmate. And before we get into it, if you could do me a quick favor with a simple push of a button, I create this content to help you as much as I can for free. There are no corporate sponsors here. And in return, if you could hit the subscribe button, and especially if you could share this video with someone who could benefit from its message. It's these word of mouth referrals that help the channel grow. Also, I have a fantastic online program called the Soulmate System, and I'm currently accepting a limited number of applicants. If you're interested, check out the link in the description below. Okay, let's get into it. First, I really want you to understand how men view sex and the important role that you play in dating and in your relationships. I have learned so much firsthand and through my interviews to over 100 men, and I want you to benefit from what I've learned, so listen right up to the end of the video. Okay, here goes. Men want sex, and the second part to this is, and so should you. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, duh, Kimberly, you're not telling me anything that I don't know already. Men want sex. But as I said, hear me out. Yes, men want sex. That's not exactly breaking news, I agree. But I want you to think about it in the context of dating and your relationships. So here's what often happens, and you can tell me if you agree with this or you don't agree with this. At the beginning of a relationship, sex is hot and it's something that both men and women are enthusiastic about and can't get enough of. But once we feel like we've hooked the guy, sex can kind of go on the back burner, like it's some kind of an afterthought, a nice to have, or only if I feel like it type thing, right? And when things get tough in a couple, which they always do, we as women, we start to use sex as a bargaining chip, something that we can give or we can take away. And I'm going to tell you why that's dangerous and why it's not helping you. So first of all, sex should be something that we want for ourselves first, not as some kind of a gift that we give away to men, right? Society has conditioned us to think that if we like sex, we're somehow bad or we're slutty, and that by giving it away, we lose our power. But there is so much power in intimacy, ladies. And when sex is used as a weapon, we're actually taking away our own leverage. You see, when in a relationship, sex is the one way that men connect with us, right? It fuels their desire to please us and to stay emotionally engaged. A woman who enjoys intimate, fulfilling sex with her man has a ton of influence. He's more likely to listen and to be attentive. On the flip side, when we cut men off from sex, we're not just depriving ourselves of physical, emotional, and spiritual pleasure, but we're also cutting ourselves off from the very connection that brought him into our life in the first place. Let's be real, a relationship without sex is a friendship. I repeat, a relationship without sex is a friendship. And men can find friends anywhere, right? What I've learned is that men connect with us through sex. I've heard a lot of women, including myself, ask a man when dating, oh, well, are you just looking for sex? Or they'll say to their girlfriends, well, he's just looking for sex, right? And, as if somehow he is. Well, yeah, of course he is looking for sex, right? Have you ever been on a date when a man was just looking for a new buddy? Men want sex in romantic relationships, and it's not something that ends once you're in a relationship or when you're married. So here's the thing, when life gets busy with work and kids and everything else, it is so easy to let sex slip down the priority list. Trust me, I've been there and I totally get it. And it's not easy, right? Because we're focused on everything but ourselves. and our intimate lives. But when there's conflict, we women tend to pull away physically, and then we wonder why things aren't getting better. I'm going to be blunt here. If you want to get your man to put in effort when dating or later in your relationship, don't use sex as a weapon. Use it as your ally. Men are far easier to reach and connect with when you're intimate with them. That's because for men, making love is a key way to build intimacy. And where there's intimacy, there's openness and there's listening. There's a window to understanding one another. So what's your homework or your fun work, as I like to call it? Start thinking of sex as something natural and pleasurable for you. This means getting in touch with your own body and understanding what brings you pleasure. Women across the world are so cut off from their bodies. Did you know that in a recent study by NewGov Research in the UK, that half of the women in the study could not even label the vagina? And then there's also this play called The Vagina Monologues, where a character in it mentions that women go for years without looking at their own vagina. There was also something on this show called Goop about this. There's another thing that most people don't talk about it. And this, ladies, is better than Botox. It's better than spending tons on a diet program. Sex actually makes you look more youthful. Trust me, I'm over 50 and I can tell you from personal experience that sex gives you an incredible glow like nothing else does. People will literally start asking you what your secret is. It's physiological. Sex boosts your hormones, right? It increases estrogen, oxytocin, which keeps your skin looking youthful, and it reduces wrinkles. It improves circulation, it reduces stress, your blood flow increases, and it gives your skin a natural glow. It also releases endorphins that lower stress and slows aging. And it also gives you better sleep, right? And stronger immunity. How many times after sex did you just sleep so well, right? It improves the quality of your sleep and strengthens your immune system, which helps you stay what? It helps you stay youthful. So to recap, men want sex, whether in dating or in a relationship, and that's not going to go away. It's important for you to get in touch with your own pleasure for your health and the health of your dating life and your relationship success once you've found a man. I hope you're enjoying this video, and here's a gentle reminder to hit that subscribe button and to share this video with a friend. And I have a question for you. How do you feel about sex and dating and relationships? What is your experience? Drop a comment and share your thoughts below. Okay, what else do you need to know about how men view sex? Well, friend, don't mistake a man being sexually interested as him wanting a relationship with you. So here's the thing. Men are simple creatures, right? If you offer a man sex, he is likely to say yes, right? That's just how they're wired. In fact, a study at Ohio University showed that men think about sex 19 times a day on average, which is nearly double the amount of women. They think about sex all day long, and they're usually happy to accept it when it's available. But that doesn't mean that he is looking for a relationship, right? Where we women often get into trouble is assuming that when a man shows interest in us, he flatters us or buys us a drink, that he's interested in more than just sex. And I'm definitely not saying that men aren't interested in relationships. I'm just saying that we women often fall into the relationship trap easier than they do. So it's not that men are being manipulative. It's just they genuinely want sex. But they might not be thinking about a relationship right away, at least not until they've met the right woman. So your job is to determine whether you are that woman and if there's real compatibility. Now, let's talk about high-value men. These men have plenty of options when it comes to sex, so it's not scarce for them. Most men don't have that same level of access. But regardless of whether he's high value or not, many of us mistakenly believe that just because a man shows us interest, that he's ready for more. And I've fallen for this in the past, and it is tricky. The truth is that most men are not initially looking for commitment. They love their freedom and their independence, and they need to see a real reason to commit. And this is especially true as men get older past midlife. So what should we do? First, understand that just because a man is interested in you, it doesn't mean that he's ready for a relationship. And second of all, lean into your sexuality from the very first date. Now, I am not saying that you need to dress with all your body parts hanging out or start pole dancing for him or hop into bed instantly. This will have the opposite effect on a high value man. But if you want to hook a man, show him you are comfortable and at ease with your sexuality. Whether it's the way that you hold his hand, how you kiss him if you do that on the first night, or even the charming way that you look at him in conversation. He needs to sense that you're not only highly attuned with your sexuality and your sensuality, but you're interested in sex with him. Now, if a man likes you, he will wait for sex. But ladies, don't use it to manipulate him or to fool yourself for that matter. This is especially true with high-value men who have plenty of options. He'll want more than sex if he's genuinely interested in a relationship. But if he cannot quickly gauge that you're passionate and open to intimacy with him, he will walk. Believe me, men are really simple creatures. Waiting a few dates to build an emotional connection can work, but there's no guarantee that he'll stick around after the sex anyway. So don't use it like some kind of a carrot that he can never get or feels unattainable to him, or it could backfire too. Hit him with your good juice on that first date and he will want more. I guarantee it. And ladies, let's be clear. If you aren't attracted to a man and you don't desire him, you don't need to continue dating him. It's just that simple. There's no pressure and you can relax. So, to recap, men want sex and so should you. Don't confuse a man's sexual interest with his desire for a relationship. And when you do become intimate, you want to bring the bad girl to the bedroom just for him. Okay? Men go wild for the good girl in daily life who is the sassiest, sexiest, most adventuresome version of herself in the bedroom for him. From the men that I've talked to, they are over-enthused and in awe of a woman who is comfortable with her sexuality, with her body, and is confident in the bedroom and is open to new experiences. In fact, this is 100% supported by the growing trend of younger men seeking out older women, anywhere from 5 to 20 years difference in age, right? The men I talk to have all told me that they seek relationships with older women because they are not only more interesting to talk to, but they are simply more interesting in the bedroom. In fact, I recently had a dinner with a highly successful multimillionaire man of 60 who says that he won't even consider a woman under 50 because he said these women are not open to their bodies and their pleasure. So ladies, please stop buying into and internalizing the stereotypes and all the media hype that says a woman over 30 is somehow no longer beautiful, desirable, or sexual, and heaven forbid that she hit menopause. Women are supposedly dried up and no longer relationship material. That is just ridiculous. Men love women in the bedroom who love their bodies, who know their bodies, and who understand their own pleasure. So bring that side of you into the bedroom with him. Now, I want to make 2 points about this. First, feeling comfortable with this side of ourselves as women is not always easy, right? So there's inner work that you can do to feel more confident and to step into your sexuality and your sensuality. And this is the kind of work that I do to help women in my program. Second of all, as I've said before, men have fragile egos. So when you bring out the bad girl in the bedroom, make it special for him. This isn't about doing anything you're not comfortable with. But if he feels that you've jumped into bed with just any old man or any man who put in no effort while he's gone out of his way to invite you, to offer you flowers and invest his time and energy into your relationship, and then you tell him that you've done wilder things with Tom or Joe, he is going to feel deflated and pissed, right? If you like him and you want to stand out, bring your best bad girl for him. I can promise a man won't look down on you for it, and he will feel like he has VIP treatment and he will come back for more. So to recap, men want sex and so should you. Don't confuse a man's sexual interest with his desire for a relationship. And when you do become intimate, show him the bad girl in the bedroom and just for him. If you like this video, let me know in the comments and share your experiences. And don't forget to share this video with a friend. And also check out my video at the end of this one on why younger men like older women. And until next time, I'm sending you lots of love.